Hey everybody, this is Time Travel Beard. This is going to be kind of a long, low energy video, just kind of showing the state of the shader for the start of April. Right now I'm redoing some stuff with puddles. I'll show those first. Before I just had like the sheet of water that would cover everything when it rained. Now you can see we've actually got like individual puddles. And I'm trying to do a lot of stuff to make these work both with 2D textures and 3D textures. With 3D textures it's easy, like POM, because they just fill up from the bottom. But with stuff that doesn't have any kind of depth, I've kind of got to make up where puddles should be. And also some texture packs just don't have porosity values. So like all of this is kind of stuff I'm having to code in. And you see it's still got the overflow on the sides as an option, but it's more limited, like it's not happening everywhere. It's just in areas where like there's puddles and stuff, so there's water to overflow. And you can still use the old version, it's there. We're getting dark, let me switch the time. These puddles should fade as I get into an area that doesn't have rain like this, so you're probably going to see them all kind of dry up. It also has the amount of rain that's in puddles and stuff based off of the biome precipitation. So if you're in an area that doesn't get as much rain, you're going to have less puddles. Like things will get wet, but they won't be as soaked. And that could all be turned off. You can see here I just went into an area that has more rain, so it quickly kind of faded the texture back in. But it's still a limited amount of precipitation. And you can see stuff is kind of filling in where the POM is deeper, like that is something that has POM. And other than that, we're getting puddles. If you go over here, this area, and there should still be raindrops, yeah, on the water and everything. Which now with water, there's something else I fixed this month, is we've got the reflection to refraction distance is proper, like it fades. Let me turn off. I'll come back to it in a minute. If I go over here where it shouldn't be raining, the rain should fade within a few seconds. I didn't want it to just stop immediately because that would look abrupt. But I should fade. I might need to make the ripples stop immediately. And then you see the puddles dry up. I'll show that in like a desert or something too. There's a sand stone area in another spot. Some other stuff I did with the clouds is I made it so there's more variation in them. When it's raining, they still show up in an area like this that normally wouldn't have as many, so this still has like full cloud coverage. But you see there's like this sense of heat. I added that. If I get rid of rainstorm, you'll see it better. I'll transition again. So if we go over here somewhere where there would be rain occasionally and it's not as hot of a biome, we're going to have more of a standard sky color. It's going to take a second to kind of switch over. It's starting to get there already. You can see it's like a little bit hot feeling, but then as we get into, we've got some clouds. As we get into an area that has less rainfall, the cloud coverage is affected by it. So the clouds are going to fade to where we don't have clouds, and the shapes of ones that would remain would be different. And also as we get towards noon and the heat of the day here, depending on how hot the biome is, you're going to get this sense of heat where you get kind of this red dusty color, and it's an option you could turn off, but I kind of like it. It feels like oppressively hot just a little bit, especially as the sun's really up there. But when it's low, you don't get that. So here, like in the morning, you can see it's still kind of blue, but as the sun gets up, you just get that heat. And with the rain, the way it handles rain is you still get the cloud coverage, so that's when it's cloudy, but you're not going to get the rain here because it just doesn't rain here. So as the sun gets higher, you still get this kind of sense of oppressive heat that I kind of like. It kind of makes the biome stand out a little better. And I'm going to use this for things like deserts here, so that when you are in a desert, I can do things like have thunderstorms be a sandstorm instead. And again, this heat of the day comes like as the sun is up. When the sun is low, it's still got like that nice gentle blue sky. But then I could switch the fog to be sandstorm when you're here and stuff like that. Here's a clip of the day just kind of cycling through in the desert. Okay, and with the rain, I showed you some of the little puddles. Here's going to be some clips of the 3D puddles. I'm kind of working on a few different versions of them, and I'm not cemented in exactly which version I want yet, so here's that. Okay, so let me think real quick on some of the other stuff I did this month. Okay, the water, that's what I was just talking about. I redid the water code. I'm still in the middle of doing some of it, so you get this transition between reflection and refraction, which is how it should be in real life. So when you look underwater, you get that refraction, and you see that as like the wind moves the water, you got those waves. It distorts the image that's underneath it. And it's just a nice little feeling. It's not perfect. There's some artifacting around items you hold. You see, like on the top of this, it's kind of janked up, but like on the glass, it doesn't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to defer the handheld items the same way that I'm deferring glass, so then they won't have that distortion around it. And what the distortion is since the light bends when it hits the water, or it's trying to show what's behind what's in my hand, and that data just isn't there when you're holding something solid because it overrode it. You don't see it when you're looking here, but when you're looking like straight down, you see it. And that ripple is where I just kind of tried to hide it, and it didn't do a good job. Like I said, I'm going to move it, and then it'll be like the glasses here, where it just won't have a problem. But I like the refraction. I think it's a nice effect. It's what happens, and you get that nice little fade. It's just nicer water. What it also means is that in a spot where it's deep enough, you would see the sun rays and everything in the water, and when you look out, you can see the clouds and everything now from underwater. And with glass, that should work too. I'm still kind of redoing some of it. I want to have there's still the problem of, like, I don't think that you can see water reflections behind glass. Take a peek at it real quick. I'm in the middle of deferring it all still. I can't tell. It's kind of just janky. Okay, so waterfalls. If there's not one here, I'm going to make one here. Okay, there's a bunch here. There's that village. They've still got what they do. You know, they've got the stuff that comes down and everything. I've got an adjustable speed for them and a whole menu. The last video I think I had them on a speed of 10. There's 4 different types of them, so you can kind of get some of the ones in the earlier demos if you liked them. This feature makes the little slants to have the same white that's here. It's an option because like there, like I think it looks cool like that, but then you get these little white bits on the bottom, and there's not really a good way to kind of fade those, and I think they kind of look funny, so that's why it's an option. Like I can do it later, but it'll be complicated. That'll be when I do all the 3D capture. The rain runoff is what makes them turn brown when it's raining, so they get muddy. Choose how white they are, how bright the foam is, how shiny the water is, all kinds of stuff. 10 here is what I did on the last waterfall demo with like the 100-foot falls, but 2 looks good in most cases, so I had defaulted it to. I'll show the POM real quick. I need to see if the new continuity update is good. Let me load in my resource pack. When you make textures, your menus are full of junk. Okay, so here's with POM on. We've got seamless 3D textures. So you can see like the grass, like and all that. It doesn't have the edge fading that most packs would have. Let me reset the day here. Most packs that do POM, they get rid of the POM on the edge of the blocks because CTM and POM don't behave together, but I made that CTM-POM-FIX code to fix that, where you don't need that. This is without the borders. I'll put the borders on in a second. So you can get these nice seamless 3D textures that work. And with the rain, as I probably already showed in clips, it starts to fill up from the bottom and work its way up. So it fills from the bottom and works its way up, and you can see it's a wear. So like there's puddles where there's recesses in it, and then where it's higher up, it's still kind of dry. I need to rework all these numbers because like I don't want the water to flood the grass this much, and that's just something I need to adjust. Because I made a system for that. That's why like the sand has more drainage, which is why the top here is still kind of dry. But I just started working on all that yesterday, and I need to kind of fix it. It's not good yet. Here's all still like a little wet, but it's not flooded. So POM works, like I showed before, there's torch shadows. I'm gonna just build this on a bad spot with bad lighting. Let me load up the other part of the resource pack. I think it might be broken on this newest version, but I'll show that because I want to show bugs. It may have been fixed with the newest version of continuity. I have not updated it in a while. I know that on 1.19.2 it works correctly. But yeah, on this version of 120.4, continuity does not like the borders, and it's glitching them out. You can see it's trying to draw them, but it's not having a good time. This world might be in the wrong version to show it working properly, but let me try. Okay, so if I load back in on an older version of Minecraft, this is 1.19.2. With this version of continuity, you can see that it works, and all the 3D-ness of it is appropriate. So that's something that maybe has already been updated, not just didn't update my version. And if not, it's something that we're going to have to just wait for continuity to fix. And let's see. Let me switch to nighttime. We should have the shadows. Yeah, you can see those little shadows in there based on the torch position too. And I think that's a really cool look. Like, you don't get that in other shaders. You're not going to get this where you've got seamless 3D textures that like have path trace lighting going into them. Like, I don't think anybody else does that.